Good morning, good morning. Happy Friday. Just have to go post the go post the link in the group. I forgot to do that this morning. Okay. All right. Well, not much action yet today. I haven't taken any trades yet because I got up early this morning getting ready to take some trades around here, but the ATR has been under 25 the whole time. For a second here, I just saw it get above 25. It was like a 26 for a second, but when the ATR is too low, you end up with a lot of this nasty chop like this. And in my experience with NQ, if it's under a 25, you're just asking for trouble. It's basic. There's just not enough price movement to really make money, and the signals are less reliable. So, for example, like these lower highs in here, normally those would be a short, but with the ATR so low, let's go back in replay mode. It's under a 20. It's a 19 at this point. 18, 19, 17. It's just, yeah, you're just looking for trouble. You're going to get a bunch of sideways action when that ATR is that low. So I'm waiting for it to get above 25. Right now it's at 23. So not much to do yet so far today. We got the open here in about 12 minutes. On the higher time frames, we're bullish on the 15. I have the 5 marked as bearish, but it's kind of neutral right now. It's crossing under the confirmation line, but we're ticking up. And the delta's positive, so that could easily turn around. Might as well keep it bullish for now. And on the 3, looks like we've been in somewhat of a sustained uptrend, but we're getting the delta underneath that confirmation line. It's showing some weakness, so I'm going to keep that bearish on the 3. Let's check out the news for today. We got Flash Services PMI at 845. It's a red folder. That's my 8:45 Central Time. And existing home sales at 9. Revised consumer sentiment at 9. And not much else today. So now we just sit tight and wait. Let's see what the open gives us. We got the delta under the falling confirmation line here. We did just tick down from the red zone. Normally that would be a short right there, but ATR is still so low. We're still just kind of chopping that anchored VWAP right down the middle. Good morning, K. John. How you doing today? So far, just a quiet sideways day. We had a nice move up here in the London session. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all this crap over here. Clean up my charts a little bit. All right. $6:45 Florida time was the move. So what? My 6:45. So it'd be my 5:45. Yeah. Yep, we put in two higher lows from the power zone with bullish divergence right here. That was the move. About 50 points or so. Might as well go throw London low on here. Well, we just got our first lower high from the red zone. Looks like it wants to push down. See what our 825 candle does here. Got about 15 seconds for that. Didn't do a whole lot. All right, on the 5-minute, we got that delta falling down now, so I'm going to go ahead and flip that to bearish. Still just a nasty, nasty looking delta. Got the open here in a couple minutes. I was wondering when we were going to take this low over here. Looks like we just did. So this would have been a decent little move down here, that that lower high right here from the red zone. I was thinking about it, but the ATR was still so low. I didn't really want to mess with it. Looks like it would have been a decent one. Crossfire Trading, good morning. Well, she's falling now, filling in the gaps. Got the open here in about 5 seconds. Slamming it down to the VWAP. Yeah, that would have been a good trade right there. 823 was the entry. Well, the first entry was at 819, but the 823 entry was better. You know, and that's why sometimes I still trade the chop, because some of the best entries occur right when it's chopping like that, when you put that chop box on there. It's the extended chop you really want to stay out of. Still falling. Beyond VWAP. See if we're going to test the daily open over here, which we have at 134.75. Good morning, Jay Waz. Well, our ATR's up now, so I guess I can start trading. And looks like we're going to make it to daily open. What a drop. Now I kind of wish I would have been a little more aggressive up here and just jumped in. You know, that's the signal right before the open. You know, there's usually a signal from 8:20 to 8:30. And it can be a good one. Especially when it just goes right out of the gate like that. So far, that daily open is holding. $80 tick stop is a little small. So we did hit this key level, the daily open, and then we ticked up. You know, we were talking, was it yesterday or the day before, about when you hit a key level, sometimes you could just go ahead and take that tick up, even if the delta is fat at that point. Curious to see how this one would have worked. So far, it would be in the profit. Pushing back down off the VWAP. Looks like Bitcoin is pushing down as well. Starting to lose the daily open. Heading down for London low. Little surprised that we're moving this much when we got the Flash Services PMI coming up at 8:45, 7 minutes. Still got fat deltas. Still heading down towards London low. Just sitting at 22,104.25. Underneath that, we got the previous month high at 0.94. And still no good entry. The best entry was in that chop zone way up here at 822. The other possible entry could have been a snipe on the VWAP for a short. It's a little risky there, in my opinion. And we just took London low. Man, we're going to miss the whole move here. When the market wants to move, it moves quick, you know? And then we'll be left with the crumbs when it wants to go sideways. All right, we're getting a little bullish divergence here. Starting to put in the first higher low. Went ahead and took that long there. $22, 118, 75, it looks like. All right, there's 4 contracts off. I just moved to break even, and I got took out of break even. All right, still a winner. Got that flash services PMI coming up right now. 10 seconds. Man, looks like I nailed the end of that wick, huh? And to the upside we go. Good morning, Schroden. Were those shorts at 915, 925? The 2 down ticks under the falling delta from red zone? Yes. You mean right right here? Were they valid plays? Yes, it was a valid play. There's only one reason why I passed on it. It's because the ATR was still under 25 at that point. And but this one right here, the 823, that was the good one. Yeah. I passed on it, but that would have been a goodie. You know, and I pointed that out earlier, how this, and as this happened, I pointed it out. I said, that's a short right there. I said, but the ATR is so low, so I'm not going to take it. But then once you get a lower high, that's even better than the other one. So as long as the delta is still weak and you still have that confirmation line pointed down, then yes, that is a valid short there. And normally I would have taken that, but the ATR was just too low for me, so I waited. Looks like we're trying to bounce. Keep in mind the 5 and the 3 were still coming down pretty heavy, so that's going to carry some momentum with those, usually. Unless we just V-bottom right out of here. But the fact that we took out London low here, that's why I went long there. We started going bullish right after that. Printed that bullish divergence. The delta was tapering a little bit. We got that higher low tick up. Pushing back down to the previous month high. ATR's at a 79. We went from really small to really high. We have revised consumer sentiment at 9 o'clock in about 8 minutes. Starting to flash a little more bullish divergence here. That higher low, we got the lower low on the price. I'm going to take a stab at that. I just went long there. $22,116. One thing going against us here for a long is we do have a negative sloping delta, which isn't great. See if the bullish divergence can pull off a win, though. And nope, they got me right at the end of the wick there. Part of me. Stopped out 6 contracts, but I'm still in for 2. So I'll go ahead and update that. So 680. I'm still in for 2. Of course, it would have to be at the end of the wick. And the other 2 are gone. So it was 8 contracts at an 80 tick stop. You know, I made that same mistake the other day. I entered in on a bullish divergence play like that where the delta had a negative slope to it. And I think I had the exact same result. I got stopped out. So don't do that. You still want to have a positive slope on the delta if you're going to enter on that. That was my fault. I thought maybe I could pull off a short win first, but nope. Just a little too early. Yeah, that 5 and 3 are still carrying some momentum with it. 15 is still bullish, surprisingly. There's a wick. Look at that. Is that the consumer sentiment? It's not even 9 yet. Oh, now something's happening. It's locked up. Ooh. Another big move to the downside. And it's a big hammer candle. Was. Well, all the news is in, so we should be good now. All right, Delta's tapering. We're getting a tick up above the Delta. It's turning positive. Those are some big long wicks down there. Still no tick up. Not quite ready. Feels like she wants to go to the upside. Delta isn't really cooperating at the moment. Delta's getting really thin. Delta's turning positive. We're right down there in that lower power zone. Just don't be a giant candle, please. Went ahead and went long right there. Don't you even push down on me. Oh, it's not even ticked up anymore. It was ticked up when I pulled the trigger. 22.090, 62. Let's say 50. See how that could change at the last second? We were ticked up. The Delta was positive. And right the second before it closed, it pushed back down. Still keeps pushing down though, man. Well, that one did not work. Never did get the tick up. That one hurts a little bit. I thought I had these big long wicks going in my favor, but I guess not. Good morning, Jason. Well, the market's been pushing down. It hasn't really been great, to be honest. This move here would have been great had I taken it, but I didn't take it. At 823, that was a good short to the downside. And now the market's just playing games. I took 3 trades, 1 winner, and 2 full losses so far. Trading 8 micros today, so it's not as bad as it looks. So here's the tick up, but now that I got stopped out twice, this is where I hesitate to jump back in. Pass up a good winner. Look at the signal. It's just flatlined on the 5-minute on the bottom. She never did break that lower wick. It almost did. It went all the way back down there, pushed everybody out like myself. Yeah, JWAS, that's probably the smarter thing to do. But in my defense, we never actually got the tick up I was looking for there. It was on the screen when I hit the button, and then it pushed down the last second. So looks like I need to time my entries a little better. We do have a positive slope on the delta now, and it's starting to turn positive. That confirmation line and the delta are starting to converge. Like, this is the area where you want to look for longs, where they're starting to converge right there. I was just too early. Yeah, see this tick up here, that would have already been a winner. It had 80 ticks. Yeah, no filet mignon yet. You lost your coffee mug? I didn't know you had a matching mug. You got one just like this? A Yeti? Yeah, I think I do remember saying that. How'd you lose it? I've had mine forever. The lid of mine is kind of gross looking. It's all discolored. It's got permanent coffee stains on it. You can't even clean it off. Should probably pick up a new lid. All right, we're getting a tick down for, man, they are just really trying to push it down, aren't they? Getting a tick down from the red zone, but the delta's about to cross the confirmation line, so that's not a good short either. So I guess we just wait still. It's actually probably more of a long than a short. Let's simulate that. Let's see if this would have been a good long. Just buying the close of that candle. Yep, that would have been a winner. Would have broke even on the last half, but still would have been a winner. The gnomes took it. Oh, it got lost in your move. That sucks. So are you back to the porcelain mugs now, or what? Coffee gets cold too fast in those things. We're getting a higher low tick up, but I'm not really a big fan of the location of it. Delta looks like it's still struggling. You got a backup Yeti? Not ideal, taller and skinnier like me. Well, what does this look like on the higher time frames? Let's see. Well, I could see why we're kind of paused here. Got a 15-minute order block that we've tapped into. We got the average daily range here at 998.50, which has confluence with the 5-minute order block down below. Wonder if we might be heading down that way. Market still feels really heavy. We did just put in a lower high here with a weak delta. It's not a very strong signal though. Crossfire trading. I've had 4 signals all long, but it's hard to pull the trigger long. Yeah, I know the feeling. That delta's still negative. It's rolling over. It's actually gaining more momentum again. The 917 candle was the short. If you're trading lower highs, looks like that would have been a winner. Still hard for me to take those in the green zone because when I do, I get run over. When I don't, I see that they're winners. You know, we're still sitting on this 15-minute order block too, so it's kind of hard to short when you're sitting on top of that. But there she goes. Are we heading to the 5-minute? This is a tough day so far, man. It's not much clarity in the signals. That 1 minute delta still pointed down, gaining momentum. Just broke through that 1 minute order block, heading towards the 5. See, I need to have more trust in that delta, in the delta slope. Price always follows the slope of the delta. Gold dump. Yeah, it's dumping a little bit. Got our average daily range down here at 998.75. Will we hit it? Yep, the 5 minute signal is flatlined at the bottom. "15 minutes finally bearish." I wonder why we are pushing down so hard today. Here's the hourly. Look at that, straight down. You know, we talked about this yesterday about all of these. Maybe not so much that one. The delta's still positive there, but like here, all these are shorts on the hourly. And then this is the first power zone tick down that we've had on the hourly. That's interesting. Delta's still under the falling confirmation line. So, man, are we going like way down here? It looks like it. That's what it looks like. Maybe not today, but at some point. All right, we hit our average daily range. We'll see if we bounce here. So if you got to buy at 22,000, well, this is the average daily range. We know it loves to bounce on that. So you likely have a good buy sitting in there. I'll probably end up taking this higher low if we get it. Brian, the daily? You want to see the daily? Yeah, that's a short on the daily right here on Thursday. Yesterday was a short from the power zone. So yeah, we could be going in for a decent drop. All right, here's my high or low tick up from the average daily range. I just went long on that. Pulled the trigger a little too late. 22.013.25. A little higher than I want to be. Ay, man. All right. Well, that really hurts. That's what? 1, 2, 3 full losses in a row for me. 24. Yeah, that hurts. Well, I entered there mostly because it was a key level and we got this higher low tick up, which we were just saying earlier. Sometimes you can ignore the thickness of the delta when you're doing that. But it was not a, like you were just looking for a cumulative delta entry. It was not a delta squeeze. So it's safer to just probably go ahead and wait for the delta squeeze, but which has not presented itself yet. And watch the 5-minute chart according to JWAS. You got to admit, JWAS, this is kind of not normal for the 5-minute to be flatline like it is. Like usually you get a little pop in there, but there's just nothing here. That 8 SMA is just holding this down this whole time. Now the delta is getting to a point where it might be tapering and might turn positive here. Just went long on the 8 there. Finally got a winner. That was... And I just got stopped out on my other half. That was 22.0225. Yeah, right there. It's crazy how strong this down move is. I mean, with just no pullbacks at all. It's just pushing. Starting to see some signs of life in the Delta now. We're about to cross the confirmation line in the power zone, which is also kind of rare. I mean, that means it was a strong push down. But once you get that cross, man, that can be a nice pop to the upside. Yeah, showing a little life there. Now, are we going to get a proper long signal here somewhere? Or are we just going to V-bottom and miss the whole thing? All right, we got our tick down. Now are we going to get our delta squeeze? All right, is this it? We're going to get our squeeze here. We got a positive slope on the delta, ever so slightly. Not quite ready yet. Nope, nothing yet. Just made new low. Gunning for previous day low now. This is going to be one of those days where you look back at all your trades and say, why didn't I just go short? Well, on the 15, we're finally getting a tick up from the power zone here. Maybe it just needed to take out previous day low first to have our first little pullback. Yeah, now we're getting a tick up above the delta, which is tapering. So I'm going long here. That's our first tick up above the delta while it's crossing the confirmation line. So this could be a good one. I just went ahead and move my stop to break even. I'm in 8 contracts on this. I did not take profit there like I normally do because I think this could be a decent run up. Just don't hit my break even. Don't do it. Ah, got me. Got my break even right there. Well, that would have been a winner had I left it alone. Would have got 40 ticks out of it. I was trying for a home run. Might have to jump back in here, though, if that delta turns positive. Ay, ay, ay. I moved to break even way too soon. See if I could snag along on the 8. Stealth, you're still in that? You never stopped out? Holy cow. Well, go figure. This is the good long, and I'm going to end up missing it because I moved my stop to break even too soon. It does not want to pull back to the 8. Maybe it does here. That delta isn't really positive yet. It's really thin. We did get our confirmation line crossed, though. Right here. All right, I just got picked up on the 8 right there. And at 21 at 975.50. Got my stop at break even. Hopefully it doesn't want to hit that now that we tested the 8. I have it at break even because we did tick down from the red zone, so I'm still kind of in, yep, I just got taken out. As I say, we're still kind of in a little bit of a danger zone here since we're ticked down. The delta is still negative. That 8, had I left it alone, might have been the perfect entry there. We'll see what it does here. Jawad, I don't think you'd want to copy trade me today. Delta's still really weak. I thought we were going to get a little bit of a V bottom there and fire out of the hole, but the Delta is saying no. Delta's still negative. We just put in a lower high. So, you know, with a weak Delta, that could be a short right there, but I hate to short right when the Delta's above the confirmation line. So I'm still looking for longs. I think we're just a little early. Well, good for you, JWaz. I wish I didn't have any trades yet today. You know, that aggressive mentality of mine, that works a lot better when we're kind of chopping sideways. That's why I prefer those days. I hate the trending days. Because when you think things are about to turn, they just never do. So, trending days are my kryptonite. I hate them. All right, I'm going to grab some coffee. I'll be right back. Schroden, that's not bad. You seem to be doing pretty good then. All right, there's a green zone tick up. Delta is positive. All right, I just went long right there. 21,978, 78. All right, can we get a run here, please? Stops at break even again. Eight contracts on this one, since this could be a good runner. So far, so good. We're up 80. Can it hit 125? Go, 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 market, go. This is what I need right now. Can we get 200? Making a little pit stop here, maybe at the 50. Just turned over the 10 o'clock candle, the hourly flip. Stealth says tick up on the 10-minute is official finally. Good. Good to see that. Jawad, what do you think of the smart money concept? Is it better than the cumulative delta in some charts? That might be a controversial topic, but in my opinion, I would say no, it is not better. I think the cumulative delta kind of rules all. To each their own, though. We're going to tick down from that upper power zone, but I'm still hanging on to this one. Don't come all the way down. Come on, man. I thought it would at least have a little bit of a bounce on the 8. Man, if this comes all the way back down and hits my break even. And it did. Can you believe it? Jesus. I just can't catch a break. You gotta be kidding me. On the end of the wick, too. Well, the conservative exit was the tick down from the power zone. But I was thinking we were going to go on a little bit of a bigger run there than we did. I was wrong. Jawad, can I become your student? I want to subscribe with you so I can learn quickly and do more profitable deals. Well, you can join the live stream for free every day. How's that? So how high did this one go? It went 42.5 points, and I let it turn into a break even. That sucks. Yeah, Jawad. I agree with Jawaz. You got I would recommend reading that playbook multiple times, like you said. You know, all the answers are in the book as long as you follow them, but even myself, I have a hard time following it to a T. I still let my emotions kind of get to me sometimes. It's like that trade right there. If I would have just taken all emotions out of it, I would have taken my profit on that power zone tick down, but I didn't for some strange reason. Well, we're still bullish here, though, so keep that in mind. We have a rising confirmation line and a rising delta, although the delta is very choppy at the moment. We got to mark off the chop. But if we get a tick up from the green zone, that is another long. So maybe I'll be a good boy with this one. $21,993.50. Don't even tell me. You gotta be kidding me. Well, that's 4 full 80 tick stops today. And then the big winner I let get away from me. That is not good, man. All right, maybe I should just call it quits for the day. I'm clearly not having the best luck here. Look at that. Didn't even tick down. It still ticked up, but it still got my stop. What's our ATR? 66? I mean, it's kind of high, but that's 66 isn't bad. That should have worked. But we got our choppy delta to deal with now, so we could just chop sideways for the next couple hours. Yep. Yeah, market is too volatile for my stop at the moment. But you know, even when it's volatile in backtesting, a lot of times these signals, when they go, they just go. There's hardly any drawdown on those. So even with the volatile market, it usually still works. You know, it's like this one. This tick up right here, you see how there's almost no drawdown? It just went. That's how they're supposed to be. This one, there's barely any drawdown. It just went. But yeah, market's just not ready. We might just chop sideways for a while. Keep in mind the 15, the 5, and the 3. They are still pretty bearish, so they're going to carry some momentum still. Doesn't mean that there's not longs in here. There are longs in here, like this one. And after the delta gets above the confirmation line, the longs should be better than the shorts. You just have to keep a short leash on it. And don't let it come all the way back to your break even like I do. But maybe we're going into more of an extended, sustained downtrend. Potentially. Kind of doubt it right now. We could be, but I think there's still going to be some long pops in here before we head lower, if we do head lower. Yeah, this downtrend is really strong. We just got our tick up there. That's another long right there. I just took it. $982.37. All right, maybe this time it wants to give it to us. Stops at break even, so I'm totally risk off. I'm just going to keep doing that, I guess, until I start getting some headway here. All I need is one really good runner to get back to green. Yeah, JWA's good point. It is pretty rare that my full stop gets hit. It's not, it's supposed to be a catastrophic stop. It's not supposed to get hit all the time. And I got hit 4 times today, right? 4, yeah, 4 times. Jeez. So yeah, that hurts when that happens. Normally, I exit before it hits my stop if I get an exit signal. Hey, we just got a delta squeeze on the 3. That's a good sign. Well, this, you know how I always say, the closer you can get it to the delta, the better. That's why I went long here on this one. This one is too close to the midline. It's too early. This one, the closer you can get it to the delta with the confirmation line rising and the delta above the confirmation line, that's a long all day. I'd be sitting a lot better if I would have taken profit on this last one, though. But I'm hoping she just wants to go on a little bit of a bull run here. It would be nice if we can go hit VWAP, wouldn't it? That'd be 110 points times 8 contracts. That would get me back to break even. That would put me in the green, I think. All right, we're getting a tick down here from the red zone, but it's not the power zone, so I'm not going to take profit yet. It's also an up-close candle. Delta's still rising. If you want to ride the whole move and you don't really care about little pullbacks, then this is where you get in and you stay in until that delta crosses back under the confirmation line. That will get you the full move. But you got to be able to stomach the little pullbacks to do that, which I still have a hard time doing. Market says CCI crossed the 0 line. Jason, I struggle. Still getting better, but still close way too early. Getting better, though. That is a very common issue with a lot of people. Once you start getting more confidence in the starts of these runs, see, this whole area from like here until here, this is the turbulence zone that I always call it. That's where it's like trying to change trend direction. And so it's really easy to kind of get whipsawed there. But once you start getting this positive slope on the confirmation line, and if you can pick off these entries here when it starts to get rolling, then you start to build confidence to stay in the trade longer, because this is where it starts getting its momentum for those nice big moves. And if you can hold it for a a close below the delta, that's a pretty conservative, I guess, if you're trying to capture most of the move, waiting for the signal to close under the delta is a fairly conservative way to do it. The most conservative is just to exit on the tick down from the power zone. The next, I'd say, would be a lower high from the power zone. The next after that would be a close under the delta. And then if you're trying to get like the full move and you can stomach all the little pullbacks, then you wait for the delta close under the confirmation line. So it really depends on, how much you're willing to stomach as far as the pullbacks goes. But this turbulent area, and you could see all the turbulence in here, right? When the trend's trying to change. But what you should visualize is, here, let me change my view here a little bit. What you should visualize is this confirmation line, and just see how it's usually kind of smooth and starts to curl up like that. When it's bottoming, that's where there's turbulence, but that's also where you want to start jumping in your longs. Anyway, I'm not sure if that helps, but all of that's in the playbook. The exit strategies. It all really comes down to what you're willing to stomach for pullbacks. Oh, I suppose I got to change my view back. There we go. All right, so this is the most conservative exit would be this tick down from the power zone if we get it here. You can also use the 8. It can go on really nice moves or nice runs staying on one side of the 8. Like once it gets going, like here, once this got going, see how it stays on one side of the 8 all the way until right there. And that's where you can use that as a trailing stop. And that's part of the issue, is there's so many options. There's so many different ways to do it. There is no right way. There's no wrong way. You just have to find the option that you're most comfortable with. And I tend to change my exit strategy based off of what I see the delta doing. If the delta looks strong to me, then I opt for holding longer. If the delta looks weak to me, I'll take profit earlier. All depends on what the delta's doing. So we're getting a tick down here. So, but we are still above the 8. So I'm holding on still. I wouldn't be surprised if we come down and we test the 50. Hopefully it's not going to come all the way back down here like before. Are you kidding me? Jesus. Okay, maybe I just need to start taking profit on those power zone tick downs. I thought we were going to hold on the 50 a little bit there, but I guess not. Come on. All right, well, I got stopped out. I did not expect a giant candle to the downside like that. Well, at least I got stopped out in profit this time. At 21,989.25. 989.25. Not even 10 points. 6 3/4. Man, I'm having a rough day. So my original strategy today was to take profit at 40 ticks for half of my contracts, and then take profit on the next half on the next tick down that went against me, which is right here. That would have been a way better exit. See that way up here? That was the, that was the tick down. I would have got 38.5 points had I taken that one. But I'm starting to, I can feel myself starting to get greedy because I'm down so much today, and I want to get a good run out of this. When it actually pays more to just take your profit, wait for the next setup, and then get back in. You know, had I done that there, that would have been 38 3/4 points. Had I done it on this one, that would have been 18 1/4 points. All of those add up. Thanks, Jay Waz. Yeah, I usually do not have days like this. I thought today was going to be an easy day because it's Friday, and I typically do good on Fridays. I just got to stick to my plan and stop deviating from my plan. Thanks, Jason. Yeah, fighting to get back to break even sucks. But you know what? This is a good lesson right here that sticking to your plan will get you back to break even faster than trying to deviate from it and trying to go for home runs. You know? Base hits win the game. It's kind of an interesting spot that we're in now because, like, overall, the one is still bullish. On the shorter term, there's a little bit of a discrepancy because now we got a negative slope on the delta. And we have a tick down from the red zone on the 3. And we're flashing a tick down on the 5. So, yeah, keep in mind we're still bearish on the higher time frames. So we should still favor shorts if we get them on the 1, but there's not really a good short setup in here at this point. If this if the delta maintains a negative slope like that, and we get, like, if we put in a lower high and it's weak, then I'll short it. But otherwise, as long as we stay above this confirmation line, I'm still going to be waiting for the longs. But like I said, this is kind of a weird spot because there's a discrepancy now between what's going on the 1 and what's going on the 5 and the 3. Schroden says, be careful with the tendency to say I should have held on when it runs long and I should have taken the base hit and then backing into or reverse engineering the rationale. Not saying you do that, but I've struggled with that myself and just raising it for awareness. Yeah, yes and no, but I think it's good to still review and say, hey, this is what my rule is. I should have stuck to it. Speaking of, we might have a long coming up here. But I think it's good to review and say, hey, I did this wrong. I didn't follow my plan. And I should have done X, Y, or Z. I think that's the only thing that makes you better, by continuing to review as you go along. All right, this is really interesting now because now it's really trying to fire up here. We're getting a tick up above that delta. This is a long here. I just took it right there. And I got hit at my break even already. Did that even hit 40 ticks? It got close to 40 and then I went, yeah, see? It got close to 40 and then I hit my break even at that point. So I just moved to break even too early on that. But I would expect it to maybe pull down to the 50. Maybe. Unless it really just wants to go. All right, we're pulling down to the 50 here. This actually might be a better entry, just waiting. I just went long there again. And it was on a down close candle, which I typically like those better. So as long as the signal's still pointed up and it's a down close candle, it's kind of can be a little bit of a discount on the price. In this case, the 8 would have been a much better entry point. Come on, you better not slam back down here. Look at that. Now we're starting to chop. Delta's rising, so that is not, even though we got this lower high tick down from the red zone, that's not really a short because we got a rising delta now. So I'm holding on to my long. What I don't like is now we're kind of in this little chop zone here. All right, Delta's getting some strength back. Was getting some strength back. Everything's still pointed up though. Rising delta, rising confirmation line, and we're ticking up. Delta still seems really weak, but if we can, it's still rising. So the bulls are still in charge here. If we can get price to go take out that swing high, we could go on a nice little run. I don't like how it's showing weakness here with another lower high, though. All right, I just pulled the plug there since we got that lower high. That's what I typically do, is pull the plug before it hits my stop. If I get the signal to, if it's not going my way. Well, that one hurt a little bit. That's 10.5. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. I got that wrong. Here we go. There. All right, getting back to the chat. Schroden, sure, but my point is, in the review, we can trick ourselves into coming to the conclusion of what would have been profitable for that trade. Marcus says, not sure it's true, but I heard that 95% traders lose trading the 1 minute. That might be true, but I've been much more profitable on the 1 minute compared to where I started a long time ago. So I don't know. I do what works for me. Everyone has, their own ways of doing it. Schroeder not always realizing that we're being inconsistent and being too results oriented for the example in front of us. Marcus, 95% of traders lose full stop. That's true. We have a wedge on the 5. Like to see a close above the 20 SMA. Oof. The 5 minute looks like a giant bear flag to me. Marcus going short. Jesus, take the wheel. Hey, if this is a giant bull flag, you could go for a nice little ride to the downside. Keep in mind, looking at the hourly, it looks like we still have a long way to go here. So, and on the 15-minute, that's just getting started. I mean, definitely take the shorts if we get them, but you know, earlier I said I would take a lower high short if the delta is above the confirmation line, if the delta is weak. Well, right where I pulled the plug on that one, I should have flipped short right there. Still hard to do that. When you're in a trade for one direction, it's hard to flip the other direction. But now that we're starting to see these tick downs on the 3 and the 5, looks like the shorts are going to be back in action here. But maybe not yet. We're getting a tick up from the power zone. And the delta's still above the confirmation line. This could be a long here, which I know it doesn't seem like it should be, but we did just sweep this liquidity here. I don't trust it though. Not with what the 5 and the 3 are doing. But if you're just playing the cumulative delta on the 1, that's a long. We'll simulate it. How's that? That would have been a winner. There's 40 ticks. Let's see if it can get 80. Well, at least it would have been a 40 tick winner. Delta still heading down in the immediate short term. We got a negative slope on the delta. And it's going back under the confirmation line now. Marcus, are you still short? I went ahead and took that tick down short since the delta is falling. Keep a short leash on it though since it's in the green zone here. Yeah, don't bounce on me. If it looks like it's going to bounce, I'll just pull it. All right, I pulled it. Break even. That's where I jumped in, was that tick down right there. Thought maybe we can go head lower, take out the low, but this is always a tricky spot to try to short in the green zone. If you do, you want to have a strong delta headed down with you. Now this is, would I call that strong? Not really, but it is headed down. Still might go. Nice, Marcus. Delta is tapering here, and this is the second tick up from the red zone. It's having trouble going lower, so might take this long again. We'll see how this one does. Reason why I took that is because it was struggling to go lower. And usually when you've had this dip above the confirmation line, then even if it's a short little dip under, if the delta is tapering and it's a really fine point like that, you get your second tick up from that power zone is usually a good long. Would have hit 40, but I'm in 8 contracts on this. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a bigger move here. Delta is, I think, trying to turn back up here. See a little green triangle down there? JWAS, I like going on the 15-second chart in movements like this to verify my directional trade. 15-second bullish entry. That's optimal. I try for it with a small TP. You know, that sounds really good. I tried the 15-second that one day and I got wrecked. And I think it was me though. It wasn't the chart. It was me. I just was like totally out of sync with trying to time my entries. But I should take a closer look at the 15. What I'm saying is, like, if the confirmation line on the 15-second chart is sloped up like we enjoy on the 1 minute in this chop solidation, I find that it's helpful for any trade. Good to know. Really close to stopping me out there, but still good. All right, Stealth. Have a good weekend. See you next week, hopefully. Starting to get a little delta squeeze here. It's not really a delta squeeze. It's not by the power zone, but it's similar. It's flashing a tick up there. That was a delta squeeze on the 15-second. Oh, yeah, right here. Yep. And notice how this one is better than this one over here, because over here you got all that space between the confirmation line and the delta. And here, space is a lot less. The closer those squeeze into each other, the better. That would be a cool feature, huh? To lock us out of trading when there's chop occurring. We could probably do that. You could probably put together an indicator that reads that data and then just changes the whole screen. No, you know what you could do? You could just have, like, as soon as it starts chopping, just have it hide all the candles so you can't even see them. Then you can't put on a trade. And then when it's good, candles come back. That'd be a cool feature. You know, yesterday we were talking about best times to trade. Today's kind of another example of that. You know, it really just sucks from like 8:30 until 11, and now if I'm, starting to think about ending the stream, now it's going to get good. Now the market's going to start to swing nice. See that delta's starting to get some strength in it now. I really do wonder if I should just trade pre-market, stop at 8:30, and then start streaming again at 11 during lunchtime. Because I do find, like, lately, a lot of my afternoons are making up for a lot of the crap that occurred earlier on in the day. Usually I still come on top green, but I would be greener had I just not even dealt with that crap. I don't know, though. Every time I've tried to put rules around, like, times of day to trade, it always backfires on me. And then that ends up being the time you're not trading ends up being the good time, and then the time you jump in ends up being the bad time. So you just never know. Every day is different, you know? Back up at that 50. Can we get past the 50 is the question. Well, the delta's still looking pretty weak. We're ticking down here. It's probably going to hit my break even. There we go. Hits my... I'm out again. Break even. This is another case where 40 ticks. I would have had that in the bag, but I stuck with the 8 thinking we were going to go a little higher. Well, this could be the short right there for this giant bear flag that we have going on. Still not a great entry on the 1. Hmm. We are ticking down on the 5, on the 3. Those deltas are rolling over still on those. Still no good entries either way, though. There you go, Marcus. Did you finally get your TP? Up $1.10 for the day. Man, I wish I was you. I'd take $1.10 right now. So we took out that low. Delta's still looking fairly strong to the downside. Still no good entry points, though. Now I can relax and not feel dumb all weekend. Well, I have a feeling I'm going to feel dumb all weekend myself. Not unless I can have a major comeback today. Still dropping hard. Looks like that bear flag is finally playing out. Yep. You know, and what sucks is there's no clear entry for it anywhere in here. I mean, you know, we got this tick down here, but it wasn't even in a power zone, so kind of weird situation. No clear entry. Hey, Marcus, you're up $401.10. Sweet. Yeah, shorts are on fire today, and there's still like, I'm looking back here. There's no good short entries other than, oh, here, I'm going to circle the good ones. This is the one I passed on that I didn't take. That was the best one. This is green zone. That's not ideal. That's not ideal. This one's about to cross the confirmation line. That's not ideal. Here you get a lower high in the green zone. Again, not ideal, but maybe, I mean, that would have worked. Here we cross back above the confirmation line, and nowhere in here is there a good short signal. Even this one's not, that's not a good short signal. It worked, obviously. But yeah, it's just not really showing much today. Which is why I haven't really taken many shorts in here. I took one here. It was a break even. Did I take any others? No. Every trade I took today was a long, except for that one. That was a short. Go figure. You know, I said earlier, I said I'm going to look back today and say, why didn't I just go short? Well, because there's no good short signals. That's why. Not according to my plan, anyway. We're at support on the daily. We do have the 20 sitting right there on the daily. However, This is also a short signal on the daily right there. Yesterday. And this is why I hate trend days. I just do not have good luck with them for some reason. I'll be right back. What? JWaz, you haven't taken any trades today? Oh my gosh, I wish I was you. That is really difficult for me to do. It's just sit on my hands all day. But hey, good on you, man. If you don't see what you're looking for, don't pull that trigger. I need to get better about that still. You know, when I see things that aren't ideal and then I pull the trigger anyway because I feel like it's the best I can get. It's just sometimes better to sit on your hands. You know, it's like, I don't know. You know, actually, in here wasn't really too bad with these two winners in there. Had they been winners, I didn't let them come all the way back to my break even. And this one would have been a winner, but I was looking for a bigger move, so Another break even there. So, that's just me veering away from my original plan. Had I stuck with my original plan, I would have done a lot better in there. But I do a lot better in this type of price action usually than the long drawn out trending stuff. Still pushing down here. Still no good short entries. Maybe you could have went short here, but again, it's not even in the red zone. Would have worked. Maybe I just need to start shorting everything. Or maybe I should just hang it up for the day and say, today's not my day. I do have other things I need to be working on, so maybe that is what I should do. Go eat some lunch. Forget about this morning. Next week will be a new week. Yeah, I'm going to do that. All right, guys. Well, good luck. Today sucked, but next week's a new week. I will review over the weekend and see where I totally screwed up and what I could have done differently. But not before I answer Jawad's question. Mr. Tom, how much dollars do I need to have to begin trading? If I become very good at using cumulative delta by your techniques that you provide in your playbook. Well, it depends. If you trade a personal account, I mean, you probably need a few $1,000s to do much with it. If you trade a prop firm account, then you can get away with spending like $30-some on an account. And if you pass the account, then usually there's an activation fee that, depending on the prop firm, the cost can vary, but I think it's usually around $125, $80 to $125, somewhere in there. So you don't need a lot of money to get started, but I would recommend that you start with a paper trading account and just don't trade any money right off the bat. And then once you start to gain a sense of confidence in what you're doing and your strategy, then go for the prop firm account. That's what I would recommend. So JWaz says, okay, everybody get ready for the bull market to go long. TOMMYBOTS Trading is signing off. All right, yep, I'll give it to you guys. Hey, you do have bullish divergence printing right now from that lower power zone, so that could be a long right there. But I'm going to sign off and be done for the day. So anyway, good luck, guys. Take care. Have a great weekend. We will see you next week.
I said certified trend, watch that V-Bot stick. Trade so clean, got my profits real thick.
Yeah, I use that VWI, volume weighted, that's the map. Hit my levels, never cap, big green candles, watch them stack. I'm in the zone, got my setup tight. VWL bouncing, entry right. Big lot size, no scalper life. Trend is strong, I hold all night. Market open, watch the tape, liquidity gon' set my fate. If it holds, I let it ride. If it breaks, I cut with pride. Midday chop, I step aside. Wait for trend and not decide. Be drove by magnet, price aligns. Catch that dip, now watch it climb. Yeah, I use that you get, volume weighted, that's the map. Trend confirm, I let it clap. Catch that move, no looking back. The mode is shift, I see it clean. Delta rising, bulls and steam. Volume high, trend is mean. New day high, that's routine. Market's wild, stay composed. Bounce, I double dose. Risk is tight, reward is vast. Let it run, no exit fast. Pre-market plan already set. If it's weak, then short's the bet. Buy is strong, but I'll adapt. Trade what's real, don't get trapped. No emotions, risk defined. Volvo telling me it's time. Big green candles, money stacked. Trade that volume, never lack. Market open, watch the tape. Liquidity gon' set my fate. If it holds, it gon' set my fate. If it holds, I let it ride. If it breaks, I cut with pride. Midday chop, I step aside. Wait for trend, then I decide. Market open, watch the tape. Liquidity gon' set my fate. If it holds, I let it ride. If it breaks, I cut with pride. Midday chop, I step aside. Wait for trend, then I decide. Why they chop, I step with pride. Midday chop with pride. Midday chop, I step aside. Wait for trend, then I decide. Pop by magnet, price aligns. Catch that dip, now watch it climb. No emotions, risk defined. Volvo telling me it's time. Big green candles, money stacks. Trade that volume, never lack. Never lack. Whoa, 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 whoa. Look tack, momentum shift, I see it clean. Delta rising, bulls and steam. Volume high, trend is mean. New day high, that's routine. Market's wild, stay composed. Vow bounce, I double dose. Risk is tight, reward is vast. Let it run, no exit fast. Pre-market plan already set. If it's weak, then short's the bet. Buy it strong, but I'll adapt. Trade what's real, don't get trapped. Vibes keeps me sane. Baseline price, it runs the game. Overextended, I refrain. Wait for retest, then I claim. No emotion, hits get fine. Baseline price, it runs the game. Overextended, I refrain. Wait for retest, then I claim. Emotions, risk defined. Pop, telling me it's time.